Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Up at Nate's place, he tells Audra to let him know if she's had enough of his family drama. She asks why he'd say that. He says she's quiet this morning. She's letting Amy rest. Amy appears and guesses Damian hasn't been back in touch. Nate, sorry, there's been no word. Amy thinks he must be back at home, going about his business like nothing happened. Audra and Nate tried to make her feel better, but she said she's a failure. Nate thinks Damian's behavior is on him. Amy thinks it's time she said goodbye to them and went home. At Crimson Lights, Holden warns Damian there's only so long they can keep things on ice, and are they going back today? Damian says there's been a change of plans, but not because of his mother. Just then Lily walks in. Holden asks if she's the reason. Damian smirks. What do you think? Holden gets it. But there are plenty of beautiful women back home. Damian says she's not there. It took a minute, but he found out her name. Lily Winters, she's Nate's cousin. My family tree just got a whole lot more interesting. He explains to Holden that there's no blood between them whatsoever. He gets up and walks over to offer Lily a cup of coffee. She says she already has one. He introduces himself as Damon Kane, and sheeps your Amy Lewis' son. Damon muses, so you know about me. All good, I'm sure. Lily says not really. She heard all about him from her cousin Nick Hastings. She explains that they're not related and tells him her name. She asks him about going back to he's not headed back just yet. She's glad he's left a lot of things undone here. She's sure a man like him has more pride than to run away. Lily says she knows what it's like to get shocking news that turns your past and future upside down if you let. Damon won't let it. She asks why he's still there. He'll buy her a coffee and try to explain at his place. Nate wants another chance to make this right for Amy, who says he's done so much already. Nate is grateful for her helping him learn more about his father, who would want him to keep fighting to help her and Damian. Amy hopes one day her son will reach out to Nate. She'll try to find peace in that. Nate vows he'll go all the way to hound him if he has to. Andrew gets a text and tells Nate that he may not have to go that far. Damon may still be in Jock. Holden just asked her to go for a bite. Nate frowns. How did he get her number? Andrew shrugs that they seem like resourceful types. Nate thinks it's bold of him to reach out, knowing they're seeing each other. Honor says this is their chance. She just has to get Holden to agree to do what they asked and work on Damian. Amy asks if she'd really meet with a stranger for her sake. Audrey repeats that this is their chance. She's asking Amy to let her take this shot and find out if Damian's in town. Amy agrees. Audrey texts Holden and discovers that Damian is still in town. Amy gives her the go ahead, so she texts back that she'll meet him for lunch in Crimson Licks. Lily agrees to keep an open mind. While Damon explains himself, Holden introduces himself, and Lily recalls that he was the one who pretended to be his boss. Very deceitful, Holden points out. Nate lied to Damian about a job offer. Damon steps in and says Holden is a good friend who only did what he asked. Lily wonders if he's sneaky and dishonest. Then she wonders if maybe they should head back to Damian. Wouldn't have a chance to get to know her better if he was on a flight at the Jag. Daniel leaves another voicemail for his mother and asks her to please call, even if it's just to tell him to stop calling her. Summer shows up, and he explains that something is very wrong in Paris. Sally and Billy come in from their productive day. Sally gushes about him surprising her for lunch at the bistro. She teases that she needs a nap and pulls him into a kiss. They're making out when his phone rings. Sally urges him to answer it. It's Daniel, who asks Billy if he's heard from his mom. Billy says she called him last night, which was earlier in their day. Daniel asks if he hears from her to ask her to call him. Billy finds this weird. He deduces that Phyllis is missing, and he's worried Daniel may be overreacting, but he doesn't feel good about this. Billy tells Daniel that Phyllis sounded fine when he spoke to her. He wonders if she has a boyfriend. and might have had a date, Daniel says. She's not seeing anything they know. Billy suggests she may have hopped a flight to Chicago to go shopping phones. I suggest you give her a little more time. Daniel doesn't have much choice. They agree to keep each other update and disconnect. Sally asks so Phyllis is missing. Billy says she's either missing or unreachable. Summer and Daniel are worried. Sally says, and now you are too. They discuss the situation and Billy says Phil can get caught up in her own chaos. Sally doesn't think she'd do it. Now Sally points out someone drove Phyllis off the road. Billy says those people are dead. There's nothing to worry about. He'll try calling her and hope she answers in the CAC. Summer tells Daniel the athletic club people haven't seen their mother. They've wasted time and now they need to call Chance. Daniel nods. At Nate's place, Audra comes down the stairs, all dolled up, and her boyfriend marvels that she's ready to take on the world. Amy warns this isn't a game. She doesn't trust this guy. Andra doesn't either, but suggests Nate stay with Amy. She tells them not to worry and leaves. Nate wants to get Amy some breakfast, but she asks him not to fuss. Nate's happy. She has the energy to snap at him. They recap that Damian is still there, so there's still hope. Amy's not sure how much more her heart can take at society. Holden's surprised that Audrey accepted his invitation. She tells him it's not a date. This is a means to an end. I'm here for Nate and for Amy. I need you to do whatever it takes to change Damian's mind. He needs to see his mother, and you need to make that happen. Andra thinks Holden can make himself useful. It doesn't matter how they came face to face. It was an unwelcome surprise. Holden grins about her running hot and cold and congratulates her on her new life post. Tucker McCall. Audra says that new life is with Nate. Holden asks if she loves him. Andra won't discuss it. There is a dying woman who wants to see her son before she passes. Will you convince them in to see her or not? Holman tells her that's one of the reasons Damon's still in town. The other is a woman. Andra asks who is she. Holden won't betray his boss confidence at Crimson Lights. Damon wants Lily to tell her all about the wonders of her city. Holden tells him he's taking off for a bit. Damon tells Lily that until she tells him to leave, he's fine where he is. Lily mocks his charm. Damian asks, do you know why I didn't catch that flight? Because of you. She knocked him sideways, and he needed to know more about her. Lily finds this heartbreaking. His mother is pining for her son, and Nate is trying hard to connect with him. Damon asks, can you honestly? Says you are not the least bit curious about me. Damon complains to Lily that Nate and Amy ambushed him, but he did what they asked. She asks why they cut ties. Damon says that after their father died, nothing was ever going to be the same. Amy wanted him to follow a path that didn't interest him. She couldn't let go of trying to change him, so he let go. Lily asks how he reached his level of success. According to Amy's timeline, your success happened pretty fast, almost unrealistically so. Did he play by the rules? Damon makes his own, but if she means legitimate avenues, then yes. She asks, what's your secret? It wouldn't be a secret if he told now, would it? Lily asks Damian, does he not want to give his mother a little peace before he goes? Damian snarks, and then what hub my new half-brother Lie thinks someone holding on to as much anger as he is unpredictable. Damian says there's nothing he wants or needs from them. How exactly is he a threat? Lily says whether she trusts him or not isn't the point. Her parents passed away, and she always felt there was so much left unsaid. He might wake up one day and wish he hadn't let Amy go like this. His regrets are reserved for the people who didn't lie to him. Lily says if he didn't care, this wouldn't bother him so much. Damian asks her to dinner. Lily tells him to ask her again after he's made peace with his mother. He grins as she walks out. At Nate's place, Amy is afraid being let down will feed her illness. Nate concedes he reached out to his colleague and asks her to allow him to send her medical records. Amy thinks there's no point, but Nate's friend works in